you know what day this is?
It's the 20th, isn't it?
It's the anniversary of your mother's death. Your brother remembered. I met Norman at the cemetery. He came to put flowers on her grave.
Yeah. Well, I've tried not to think about my mother since the Weber hearing. When I do, I remember too much. I think it's better just to forget.
Forgetfulness is unforgivable in the young. I understand what you're saying, Rodney. But she was your mother. You owe her that respect. Rodney, has anyone talked to you recently on the subject of moving your mother's grave?
Moving it?
I thought your meddlesome father might have brought it up. He's well aware of my feelings about his choice of her gravesite.
Was Dad at the cemetery this morning?
No. This is an old argument between us. All the PEYTONs are buried in the family plot. But someday your mother will rest on the hilltop above them. Above all of them, where she belongs.
Can't my mother be allowed to rest in peace?
She would have wanted it that way, Rodney. To be alone.
Do you have any idea what that'll do to Norman? You and my father squabbling over his mother's last resting place?
Well, perhaps I was too hasty in accusing your father for once.
Well, then let's forget it, huh? Have a little peace in this family.
Don't ask me that. Ask Stephen.
Stephen? What is Steve? Don't tell me he had the nerve to suggest moving my mother's last resting place.
He himself told you at the party that she was his mother, too. If she can serve his purposes, even in death, he'll use her without a qualm. Your half-brother isn't like you, Rodney. His only yardstick for measuring any deed is how effectively it can serve his own ends. You can't understand a mind like that, any more than Betty can. If she continues to live with him, she'll be trapped by his sick logic. She'll be destroyed, Rodney. That's the tragedy.
Mr. Peyton, what a nice surprise. Rod, you should have called and told me we were going to have company. I would have brought an extra cider for our guest. But that's all right. He can have mine.
No, thank you.
Go ahead, I can share Rod's. Or would you prefer it in a cup?
I'm really not thirsty, Mrs. Weber.
Well, that's good, because I really don't know where I could even find one. I hope Rod has apologized to you for this terrible mess. It's really awful, honey. We should do something about it, especially if we're going to have such distinguished guests.
I must be going.
Don't let me run you off.
No fear of that, Mrs. Weber. Goodbye, Rodney.
Grandfather, wait a minute. Wait a second. Let me walk you out.
Don't bother.
Get up, Sandy.
Oh, are you ashamed to have your grandfather see us together? I'm one of the facts of your life, and he might as well get used to it.
Not anymore. Not after that act you put on for his benefit. Like you owned me.
I was only joking.
Well, you weren't joking. You were staking a claim you haven't got. Remember, no strings. That was our bargain.
Well, if that's the way it has to be.
No, it had to be that way. I never offered you any more, or pretended I was going to. Never.
You're saying it's over.
It has to be.
Well, can I help it if I fell in love with you?
There's no future in your loving me, Sandy.
Well, even if I'm willing to go back to our bargain?
You wouldn't stick to it. Let's be honest with each other.
Honest? Like, why should you settle for low-class trash like Sandy Weber when you can have high-class trash like Betty Cord? Is that honest enough for you?
Why haven't they found Chandler?
Well, they will, honey, they will.
What's taking them so long?
If he shows up, you'll be well protected.
I'm not afraid. It's just, it doesn't seem real. Police outside guarding the house, dishes in the sink. Do you suppose that Rachel really saw Chandler?
I don't think she'd imagined anything like that.
I I know, but she's had him so much on her mind lately, maybe.
Well, it's a very real problem that has to be faced here. Chandler's come back for a purpose. I'm sure as that as Rachel is. By the way, where is she anyway? She's gonna be late for class if we don't get started.
Well, I suppose Rod will pick her up and bring her home the way he did yesterday.
Does he have to?
What on earth have you done with your hair?
Just a little change. Do you like it?
Well, it does make you look older.
She's absolutely right. It looks awful.
Well, I had to do something with it.
Why? I mean, I thought it looked fine the way she always wore. Don't you think so?
That's no argument to use on a woman. We all like to change our appearance now and then, right?
Pure female contrariness. We better get going. You're going to be late for class. Bye-bye.
Mr. Carson, if it wouldn't be a lot of extra trouble, would you mind picking me up instead of Rod?
Why? What's the problem?
Oh, there's no problem. I just rather, that's all.
You and Rodney have an argument or something?
No, we don't have anything to argue about. I'm not his girl. As a matter of fact, that's why it's sort of embarrassing to have him pick me up.
I don't understand.
Well, Rod's neither fish nor fowl. He's not my boyfriend, and he's not a member of the family. I just feel better about it. It's sort of like I wasn't imposing quite as much, even if I am.
Couldn't you finish up at the office and leave a little earlier?
Oh, we'll just see how it goes. If I finish up, then I'll cancel out Rod and I'll pick you up myself. If you promise me you'll never wear that silly hairdo again. Off we go. Bye-bye, dear.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Chandler. Hey, Chandler. Hey, Chandler, you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, what do you want to do, man? Give me a heart attack?
I wasn't sure whether you was alone or not.
I've got one thing to say to you, man. Get out of here, and I mean now.
Why, the bum's right.
Well, the cops are looking for you.
So?
So, I'm clean, and I got a job I want to keep, man. And if they find you here, they'll put me back in the can alongside of you.
You got nothing on me.
I don't know what they want you for, but I don't want to get mixed up in it, whatever it is.
Okay.
Well, move, man. Get out of here.
Look, I don't stand a chance. If I took off right now, let me wait till it gets dark.
That's almost an hour, man.
You give me a break. You've been in trouble yourself, Weber. I'll be gone by the time you get back tonight. I give you my word.
All right, but if you're here when I get back, I'll call the cops myself, Chandler. Just don't be here when I get back, man.
I'd like to get some information, please. This is Mr. Carson. I was supposed to pick up Rachel Wells after her class tonight, and I'm not sure when it's over.
Just a minute, please. Wells. Yes, here it is. Rachel Wells. Yes, she has a class tonight at 7 o'clock. She should be through around 9:05.
9:05, right. Oh, and I appreciate you looking it up. Thank you very much.
Preview, from the continuing story of Peyton Place.
You know, Doctor, you're beginning to act like my major competition with Rachel. And you're pretty stiff competition.
I'm preparing to do battle with a man who lifted this grandson out of the crib at birth and gave him away.
Do unto others as they have done unto you.
You want me to give you a divorce?
The police will be notified that you stole that money. I want you out of this town tonight.
Sweat, old man!